What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Casual Critic YouTube channel. I'm happy to have you here today. We are doing our first ever solely book-focused video. In my monthly favorites, I've done some book recommendations, but I've got a whole stack of books here. And we are doing my favorite books that I read in 2021. Now, just for clarification's sake, this is not books that came out in 2021. They're just books that I happened to read last year. I know we're a little late. It's like, what? This is getting posted in May. I know I'm a little late, but I needed a video idea, and I thought this would be a good one. So my junior and senior year of high school, I completely just stopped reading. I used to be a very avid reader, and last year I was like, I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not on my book game as much as I should be. So I made a goal to read 50 books last year. I didn't reach it, but I came close. I read 42, and I've got a stack here of my favorites that I'm going to run through with you. So first up on the list, we're going to get right into it. How to Be Anti-Racist. This doesn't have a book jacket. Ooh, ASMR. Oh, pages. I can't do it. This doesn't have a book jacket. That's why I'm doing this. How to Be Anti-Racist. Super helpful. White people, get on it. Seriously, just get educated. Try out some of these books. Very, very good. Next, I feel like it's very hard to find a good horror book as well as a horror movie. But this, with the book, and honestly, the movie, I really enjoyed it. This did not disappoint. The ending to the book is way scarier than the ending to the movie. So if you've seen the movie, please check out this book. It is 10 times scarier than the movie. And the movie is still, to me, very genuinely scary. So this was a great book. I couldn't put it down. I remember I was reading the last bit of this book, and I got a delivery from UPS or something, and they knocked on my door, and it scared the shit out of me that I had to put the book down and find my breath, because this is terrifying. Next, this was a random find. Oh, also a lot of these, not a whole lot. I would say probably half of the recommendations, but a lot of these are pre-owned. If you're ever in the Nashville, Tennessee area, go to McKay's. Books are pre-owned and they're cheap as hell. This was a book I picked up in North Carolina. Literally the only reason I got this book was because I felt bad for coming into this person's store and not buying anything. And it's Oprah's Book Club, which honestly, if this is on the book, you might as well just pick it up and at least give it a shot. But this was just a couple bucks, and I really had no expectations going in, but turned out to be very, very good. It's a chunky-ass book. I think it's 600-something pages. But the story is really cool, very interesting, keeps you on your toes. Pretty fast-paced, even though it's chunky. Very good book. Oh my god, I love this. This may be my favorite book I read. If I had to pick a favorite, just off the top of my head, The Shining is probably the one that I would pick. I'm Thinking of Many Things. This is a great horror book. The movie, you've probably seen the movie. I love the movie. I love them separately, they're two separate things to me. I try not to compare them, but this book is fantastic. This is also pretty chunky. It's over 600 pages. I finished this in a week, which is pretty rare for me. I try to read 20 pages a day. So that's 100 pages a week. And I read this whole thing in a week. So fantastic. I couldn't put it down. I was reading them chapters 2, 3, 4 at a time before I put it down. This Tuesdays with Maury, very famous. You've probably at least heard of it. I've heard of it, wanted to give it a shot. This guy, Mitch Albom, the author, I hope I'm saying his last name right. I read a bunch of his other stuff. He's very good. This is a very quick read. It's not very long at all. It's less than 200 pages. However, the subject matter is a bit existential, so it's not necessarily, it's an easy read, but it does deal with, harder to think about, subject matter. If you're in between chunky books, I would recommend picking this up, but yeah, it's real good. And it teaches you a lot. It's life lessons, okay? Now, this is a book that I would recommend that's both a quick, easy read and easy subject matter. This is just a hell of a good time. Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know if this is a true story. I think it's based on some shit that he did. He was a famous journalist in the 70s and 80s, I think, who was just on copious amounts of drugs. Highly recommend this movie as well. I think it's a pretty good adaptation of the book. But like I was saying earlier, this was what I would recommend if you are in between dense material and you need something quick and easy and fun to read. It's also got really good illustrations, if I can find one. They're just really cool. They're really cool, and I very much enjoyed my time with that book. Then we have The Color Purple, very important story, and it's LGBTQ+, which I don't know how I've not known that my entire life until I read this. I remember I was probably like, I don't know, 50 or 75 pages until I was done with the book, and I just sat down and did it all in one sitting because the subject matter is hard. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes down, but it's a pretty easy read as far as how it's written, and you get through it pretty quick, or at least I did, because I didn't want to put it down. Then we have Beloved. Now, these are very, very different because this is a fairly easy read to get through. For me, this was not. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like this book. It's in, my favorites of last year. The way it's written, just for me, I am not that smart. This lady, Toni Morrison, God bless her, I am not that smart. A lot of this went over my head. It was kind of hard to understand. I didn't know what was going on at all times while reading this, but I really wanted to finish it. The story is very important. And I watched the movie after, which has got Oprah Winfrey. Oh, and I forget the guy's name that plays the main guy. Shit. But the book, I was going to say the movie is very good. But watching the movie after I read this really helped me understand, especially like the finer details of what happens in the book. I thought it was a pretty good adaptation of the book. But I cannot wait to read more of this lady's stuff. I've got to pick up some more Toni Morrison stuff the next time I go to McKay's. Difficult to read, but definitely worth it. And also the subject matter is just crazy. So next we got 1984, very famous, wanted to give it a go. Easier to read than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little harder for me, but it was not. Very interesting story. Relative, that is not the word that I need to use. Relatable, Jesus. I've already filmed this whole video once, okay? This is a very relatable book as of it pertains to the present day. And quicker read than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be hard, but it wasn't. Next up, we have Play It As It Lays by Joan Didion. I hope you're getting all these ASMR sounds. Is that doing anything? Oh, sorry, is that doing anything for anybody? Anyway, Joan Didion, I actually watched a documentary about her before I read any of her books. It's on Netflix. I just thought she looked like an interesting lady, so I was like, okay, let's watch her documentary. And then I had to pick up one of her books after I watched it because I was interested. This is probably, I guess, her most famous book or most, known book. I thought it was going to be over my head. It wasn't as much. It still had its moments where I was like, I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know who this person is, whoever she's talking about. But overall, I thought it was a fairly easy read. It's very fast-paced, very interesting, and relatable story. Then we have Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Cagebergs Sing. I cannot recommend this book enough. It was every emotion you could feel, like joyous, heartbroken, scared. It was just a very good book. I think this is her autobiography, right? Like that's what it would be considered. It's a story of her life. So, very good, very fast-paced, pretty decently quick read. I don't think it's too long. 250, yeah, less than 300 pages, so not that long. And definitely recommend getting this. This is not pre-owned. Some of these are, some of these aren't. Sometimes I'm bougie and sometimes I'm not. This is definitely pre-owned, as you can tell, and this is also the last book in our stack here. It's The Picture of Dorian Gray. I've wanted to read more classics. I still have yet to do so, but if you also want to read more classics, I would recommend starting here. It's not very hard to read. It's written in the olden times, but it's really not that hard. The story is interesting and fast-paced and kind of scary and very, very good. I mean, damn, I really like this. I like this way more than I thought I was going to. And the more I'm thinking about it, this is good. This might be my second one. No, it's not. It's probably top 5 out of these. Anyway, very good classic, and that does it for my favorite books that I read in 2021. And if you've read any of these, I would love to know your comments. Please leave them in the comment section down below. All of these books, I either rated a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, so these were my favorites of last year, and I appreciate you watching this video. If you go down in the description box, you'll find the links to my Twitter, my TikTok, and my Instagram. Please go follow me on all those social medias. I'm going to be honest, my Instagram kind of pops off. My Instagram is good. So go follow me on there and be sure to subscribe to the channel. It would really help out a lot. I think between like 60 and 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. And that's weird and I don't like it. So go subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll see you in the next video. And thanks for watching. And goodbye. That's it. Go read. Go read. Okay? Thanks. Bye.